Prime Minister's emissary, Minister Narayan is greeted with angry slogans at Kudankulam. The protesters, in fact, he says, safety comes first and power later. Social activist Medha Patkar criticizes the Tamil Nadu government for not sending any representatives to the nuclear plant.
No emissary of the state government has visited the protest site. You already know that two emissaries of Ms. Jayalalitha ji went and met Mr. Narendra Modi on the first day of his fast.
The Chennai Corporation releases the electoral rolls for the October civic polls, even as a colony in Taramani hopes to find a place on the voters list a decade and a half later. The man who is said to have slit a young woman colleague's throat in Viluppuram is arrested. He tried committing suicide after a public outrage. Employees of the Southern Railway Zonal level takes to the streets, demanding implementation of the 7th Pay Commission and removal of the wage ceiling on bonus. The DMK strongman from Salem, Veerapandi Arumugam, is out on bail after more than a month behind bars in connection with land grab charges. And shopkeepers in Kotulpuram down their shutters to protest the opening of a TASMAC unit in the vicinity. Good evening and welcome to Headlines Now on Ndtv-Hindu. This is where we get you all of the day's top stories as it happens. I'm Evelyn Matthew. A quick look at the national headlines as well. The number of dead in the Sikkim quake climbs to 80, 49 in Sikkim alone. Thousands of homes are destroyed, fear of aftershocks among the residents. An alternate route to Mangan is cleared. Finally, rescue teams and medical units reach the epicenter. Football star Bechung Bhutia reaches out to Sikkim with a hopeful message. A war of words between Omar Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti after Mehbooba denies Sushma's claim that she praised Narendra Modi. At least 2 people killed, 15 injured in an explosion in the Turkish capital of Ankara. And in a brilliant final, Brett Lee gives Kolkata Knight Riders what looked like an unlikely win against the Auckland Aces. After Amma's strongly worded letter to Dr. Manmohan Singh about halting all work at the nuclear power plant at Kudankulam, the Prime Minister has taken note and sent a senior minister to the state in a day's time. Mr. V. Narayan from the Prime Minister's office was at Kudankulam today to meet over 8,000 people at the protest venue and has said that the Prime Minister will take a decision on halting operations and that people's safety was first and then came power. Protesters initially did not allow the Union Minister to speak. They want the government to shut down the plant. It was the Prime Minister who had sent Narayan to hold talks with the local communities there. Earlier in the day, he had met the state's chief secretary regarding the security of the nuclear plant at the site. Protests and hunger fasts by more than 100 residents have been escalating over the past 10 days. And in fact, it came after the authorities had announced that the first of the 2 reactors set up at the coastal village would be commissioned in December. This even as various experts have certified that the nuclear plant is designed to withstand a tsunami and is not located in a region prone to earthquakes. Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office, Mr. Narayan will meet Chief Minister Jayalalitha tomorrow. Just to remind you that NDTV was the first channel to be allowed to film inside the Kudankulam nuclear power plant.
I came here first of all to understand the sentiments of the local people here. That is my main thing. And meeting the people and explaining to them, if the opportunity comes, definitely I will tell them. But I wanted to see on the first hand what is the people's agitation, what are their sentiments, their feeling about their Kudankulam project, which I have seen there. That I will definitely reflect to the Honorable Prime Minister when I talk to him over phone.
Is the government willing to shut down, halt operations for the time being, sir? The Chief Minister has asked that.
The Honorable Chief Minister also made that in the letter she has mentioned. This has been in the domain of the Honorable Prime Minister. The people also wanted that has to be done. But as far as the central government is concerned, as I told very clearly in Tamil, that the safety of the people is first for the central government and the power production later. Therefore, when there is a compromise on the security of the people, the government definitely will think or reconsider that. Government will reconsider.
Well, Mr. Narayan has already met those villagers there in Kudankulam, as you can see. Here's what he had to say on reaching Chennai earlier today.
For the last 10 days, including today, the people of Kudankulam region, they have been agitating and they are sitting on hunger strike. And they have been telling that the Kudankulam project, which has been started by the government of India, the nuclear power plant, the work has to be stopped. In fact, as the preparatory measure about the safety measures for the Kudankulam nuclear power plant, all precautions were taken by the government, and the Nuclear Regulatory Authority of India, after going through all the safety measures, they gave permission for the plant. After the Japan Fukushima accident, there is the fear in the minds of the people of Kudankulam region that this area is unsafe. But as far as the survey that has been conducted and security measures that have been taken by the Nuclear Power Corporation, and all the safety standards have been followed. The Kudankulam nuclear power plant is at the final stage of the operation. It has to be started now. Now there is agitation by the local people. It is our duty as the Department of the Nuclear Power. It is our duty to allay the fears of those people and tell them very clearly what all safety measures we have taken, how they are going to be very safe, and there will be no danger to the life and properties of the people of that region. And when they started agitation, the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and also the official team of Tamil Nadu, they went there. The officials went there and they talked to them along with our the nuclear department people. Even the Honorable Minister from Tamil Nadu also went and had a negotiation with them. Thereafter, the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu wrote a letter to the Honorable Prime Minister saying that the people are agitating there and the Government of India should do something more active for the purpose of stopping the agitation.
And as the controversy over the nuclear power plant escalates, social activist Medha Patkar condemned the Tamil Nadu government for not sending any emissary to the site until now. She compared the interest in this issue to that of while Modi held his fast in Gujarat.
When more than 100 people are fasting, no emissary of the state government has visited the protest site. You already know that two emissaries of Ms. Jayalalitha ji went and met Mr. Narendra Modi on the first day of his fast. Well, Modi is an accused. These are the innocent common people of the state, the electorate and the citizens of the state of Tamil Nadu who have contributed to the building of the state and who are now asserting their rights with uncommon strength. There are physically challenged people and a large number of women who are entering 10th day of the fast, and while some were taken to the hospital in the critical situation, they have come back to the fasting pandal and the others are likely to join soon, increasing the number of persons on indefinite fast. But thousands who are sitting there, not catching fish in the sea and not going to school, again have expressed their determination, which is also reflected in the letter written by former Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer to Jayalalitha.
Well, apart from the support from various political parties and activists of late, the environmental and irreversible threats to the families there have also been a grave matter of concern. Ms. Patkar warned that radioactive water pollutants could ultimately affect the natural resources there.
It is very clear, therefore, that the fish workers in the coastal region, whether they are affected by this project or that project, cannot survive unless they assert their right to know what the plans are and their right to say yes or no to the plant. No one is against power, but if it is destructive power, whether political or electrical or neutral, power corrupts and corrupts absolutely, and that is what is being seen. It is known today that even the full-fledged information is not available. But whatever has come out of the EIA report on the first and second plant in Kudankulam is worth reading. I read it out to the people in Kudankulam, and I would only ask you to go through some of the sentences which critically evaluates the likely impact on water, land and relatedly fish, the aquatic wealth as well as the food chain. They clearly say that the radioactive water pollutants will affect these natural resources.
Meanwhile, the Russian government is rather unhappy with the latest developments, calling it rather unfortunate, and that which is an internal matter more than anything else.
Well, we think that the protests that are growing now in Tamil Nadu against the Kudankulam power station is a rather unfortunate development. I think this is not correct because, as you may know, the Fukushima plant was constructed decades ago, and what we have now in Kudankulam, it's a modern plant which incorporates several layers of sophisticated safety features.
And joining us live right now from Kudankulam is senior correspondent Sam Daniel over the phone line. Sam, considering that Mr. Narayanaswamy has said that halting of operations is a decision that Dr. Manmohan Singh ought to take, you think it's a significant statement by the Prime Minister's messenger?
Yes, absolutely. That's a significant statement in the sense earlier there were indications the government was trying to convince the local communities that everything was fine, and even the review security drill and the measures taken by the government after the disaster at the Fukushima plant in Japan conveyed that things were fine at Kudankulam plant, that even when the tsunami struck it was quite safe. So earlier it appeared that the government was trying to just brush aside the concerns expressed by the local communities, but now it appears that the government is quite sensitive and serious about what the local communities are raising, particularly how even other plants which were earlier believed to be quite safe but later ended up in disasters both in Japan and in France recently. So people say don't make a scapegoats no matter how important is this plant to generate electricity. The people made it very clear that they want the government to look at other ways of generating power but not to make them scapegoats. So Mr. Narayanaswamy making it very clear that he has come here only as a messenger to take to the Prime Minister the concerns and the fears expressed by local communities, and that the government would not mind even temporarily halting operations at the Kudankulam power plant if things have to be set right, if at all at any level. Evelyn.
Right. Thanks very much indeed, Sam, for joining us with your inputs there. Moving on to some more news from the state making headlines. The Chennai Corporation has released the electoral rolls for the local body polls today. The polls will be held for the extended limits of Chennai Corporation across 15 zones and 200 wards. With regard to Chennai, a total of 44,49,055 voters will cast their votes to elect the mayor and the respective councillors from the area. There are 22,42,656 male voters in the city, while the number of female voters amount to 22,06,085. 314 transgenders are also listed in the roll. In fact, there will be close to 4,876 booths in the city, and around 10,000 EVMs will be used to cast votes. Each polling booth will have 2 EVMs, one for electing the mayor and the other for electing the area councillor. The corporation will also follow the reservation policy and allocate 67 wards to women, of which 9 will be allocated to women belonging to the scheduled caste. 17 wards will also be reserved exclusively for scheduled caste. The Corporation Commissioner Dr. D. Karthikeyan announced that the final dates for the elections will be decided by the State Election Commission by the end of this week.
Today we have published the electoral roll for all the 200 wards, which relates to about 4,876 polling stations. The list has been published just now. Details about this will be available in all our zonal offices and in the municipality and town panchayat offices. People can have a look at it and check whether their name is included in the roll. If not, they can submit an application in Form 6 for inclusion of the names. For the forthcoming local body election, the corporation election, the government has decided that there shall be 200 wards, and the election for the mayor will be a direct election. So we will have 2 EVMs in each of the polling stations, one for the mayor and one for the councillor. And elections will be conducted in all the 4,876 wards.
Meanwhile, near Anna Nagar slum dwellers in Taramani were a disappointed lot. None of the residents' names figured in the voters list released by the corporation today. That's not all. For over 15 years, about 200 families residing in the slum have not cast their vote in any election, as no one has received their voter ID card. The residents claim that repeated requests to the State Election Commission, Revenue Officer and the corporation has fallen on deaf ears. However, there seems to be a ray of hope when Ndtv-Hindu shared the plight of the slum dwellers with the corporation commissioner. Dr. Karthikeyan promised to take up the issue in a couple of days and seek a solution to it. In some updates from the mishap at Arakonam that happened a couple of days ago, the driver of the train that was headed from Chennai beach to Vellore cantonment and had rammed into a train in a major accident last week has been discharged from the Rajiv Gandhi Government Hospital. Doctors say his health condition has improved and that his stitches have been removed. He is being advised to approach the railway hospital in Perambur for further treatment. The inquiry into the accident is still on and a report will emerge this week. Staying with news from the railways, more than 1,000 employees from the Southern Railway zonal level along with DREU employees and central government employees stage a protest today at the Central Railway Station. In the strike, they have demanded a merger of 50% of the dearness allowance with the basic pay. Among the demands were also the appointment of the 7th Pay Commission for revision of pay scales as 5 years have lapsed. They have also asked for the income tax exemption limit to be raised to 5 lakh rupees and the removal of the wage ceiling on bonus.
The main demands are the bonus ceiling should be removed and DA should be merged with the basic pay. Further, we also demand that in the accident, we have seen in the railway accident here, anti-collision device has not been fixed in most of the trains and assistant driver has not been provided in the trains, EMU trains. So we demand that anti-collision device as proposed in the corporate safety plan, within 10 years it has to be fixed. It has not been fixed. We demand that all the trains should be fixed all over India at one time, this anti-collision device.
In some more news from the state, a 20-month-old baby Kavita has gone missing in Virukambakam yesterday. The little girl's parents say the daughter was playing outside their home when the incident happened. She was last seen wearing some gold and silver jewellery. Parents of the victim have registered a complaint with the Virukambakam police and efforts are on to trace the missing toddler. Up ahead on headlines now. After the dramatic protests from farmers, the government gives in. Onions no longer a reason for these peasants' tears.